What's up, Commanders fans? Welcome back to Commanders HQ, where we break down every move, every rumor, and every storyline surrounding our Washington Commanders. The energy around this team is electric, and one thing is clear: the front office is leaving no stone unturned to perfect this roster. The goal is simple: keep improving, keep surrounding Jaden Daniels with firepower, and keep this team marching toward a Super Bowl. Before we jump into today's news, do me a quick favor: smash that like button so more fans can join the conversation, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you never miss a Commanders update. Let's dive into the big story of the day. Kendrick Bourne has a clear path to the Commanders if Adam Peters wants him. Now, when you look at Washington's current roster, Peters kept 5 wide receivers on the initial 53. That doesn't mean the Commanders are done adding pieces. In fact, history tells us Peters loves to make those late additions. Remember last season when he brought in Noah Brown after his release from Houston? That worked out pretty well, and here we go again. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported that Kendrick Bourne is scheduled to meet with the Commanders on Tuesday. That's right, Washington is firmly in the mix for the veteran receiver. He's also visiting the 49ers on Monday, a team that originally brought him into the league as an undrafted free agent. And that's where the Peters connection comes in. Adam Peters was part of that San Francisco front office that took a chance on Bourne, and now, years later, he has the chance to reunite him with a Commanders offense that's looking downright scary. So why Bourne? Let's break it down. First, he's reliable. In New England, he was one of the few receivers who consistently produced despite shaky quarterback play. He runs sharp routes, he's physical, and he knows how to find soft spots in coverage. Second, he brings depth. Right now, Washington has Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel Sr., Jalen Lane, Noah Brown, and Luke McCaffrey. That's a strong group, but Peters has made it clear he wants layers of weapons around Daniels. You don't want to be one injury away from limiting your star quarterback. Third, there's the chemistry factor. Peters knows him. He trusts him. Bourne rewarded that trust once before, and Peters is betting he could do it again. And let's be honest, if Peters can get one over on San Francisco, the team he helped build, that's just a little extra icing on the cake. What makes this situation even juicier is the timing. Bourne's market has cooled, especially after Minnesota decided to go with Adam Thielen in their trade with Carolina. That leaves Bourne without many suitors, and Washington is in the perfect position to swoop in. Imagine this offense if Peters lands him. You'd have McLaurin as the steady, reliable number 1, Deebo Samuel Sr. as the versatile, physical playmaker, Jalen Lane as the explosive rookie wildcard, Noah Brown as the big-body depth piece, and Luke McCaffrey as the developmental slot option, and potentially Kendrick Bourne as the savvy veteran glue. That's not just depth, that's a receiver room that can attack defenses from every angle. But let's not lose sight of the big picture here. All of this revolves around Jaden Daniels. The Commanders didn't just re-sign Terry McLaurin out of loyalty, they did it because they know what it means for Daniels. You don't waste a star quarterback. Peters understands that better than anyone. McLaurin is the alpha, the guy Daniels can trust in big moments. Pairing him with Deebo and potentially adding Bourne gives Daniels layers of security as he continues to grow. Think back to the legends. Joe Montana had Jerry Rice and Jaylee Taylor. Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and Edgerrin James. Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. You build around your quarterback with playmakers, and Peters is following that exact blueprint. We can't talk about this without circling back to Terry McLaurin's new deal. Peters paid big money, even though McLaurin is hitting that age where teams usually hesitate. But he didn't do it for McLaurin, he did it for Daniels. It's all about giving your quarterback every possible weapon. And now, with McLaurin locked up, Samuel in the mix, lane flashing potential, and Peters still looking at veterans like Bourne, the Commanders are building something that could last. So how would Bourne fit in? He's not coming here to be a number 1. He's coming here to be the steady, reliable option that makes life easier for Daniels. He can line up inside, he can line up outside, and he knows how to move the chains. And don't underestimate the locker room value. Bourne is a high-energy guy, the kind of teammate who lifts everyone around him. Pair him with veterans like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, and Laramie Tunsil, and suddenly you've got one of the most balanced locker rooms in football. Young stars like Daniels and Lane learning from experienced leaders. Here's the thing I want fans to remember. Whether Bourne signs or not, the fact that Washington is even in this conversation shows how far Adam Peters has taken this franchise in such a short time. 2 years ago, free agents weren't lining up to play here. Now, players see Washington as a legitimate contender with a superstar quarterback and a GM who knows how to build. That's night and day progress. If you follow Deebo's career back in San Francisco, you know this isn't uncharted territory. In 2021, when the 49ers were banged up at running back, Kyle Shanahan unleashed Deebo as a dual-threat monster. He was catching passes outside, in the slot, and then taking handoffs straight out of the backfield. Defenses simply had no answer for it. At one point, he was getting 6, 7 carries a game, and he was scoring touchdowns at will. That type of versatility doesn't just add value, it creates nightmares for defensive coordinators. Imagine you're lining up against Washington. You see Jaden Daniels in shotgun, Austin Eckler to his right, and Deebo Samuel split out wide. Then suddenly, Deebo motions into the backfield. Is it a run? Is it play action? Is it a quick screen? Defenses will be guessing every single time. And guess who knows exactly how to use him? Wes Welker. Washington brought in Welker as a personnel analyst this offseason, and that was no small move. Welker was Samuel's receivers coach during his early years with the 49ers. He knows his strengths, his tendencies, and most importantly, how to get the absolute best out of him. Now let's look at Washington's depth chart. After Brian Robinson Jr. left, the Commanders needed more flexibility in the backfield. Sure, they added Austin Eckler, one of the league's best pass-catching running backs, and they're developing rookie Ja'Cory Beal-Krosky-Merritt. But there's still a need for a dynamic, Swiss Army knife type of player who can line up anywhere and keep defenses off balance. Deebo fits that perfectly. He's physical enough to run between the tackles, he's explosive enough to bounce outside, and his ability to catch passes means you don't tip your hand as an offense when he's in the backfield. The playbook instantly doubles in size the moment Deebo steps behind the quarterback.
And then there's Jaden Daniels. Look, we already know this kid is special. Offensive Rookie of the Year, ice in his veins, and the ability to torch defenses both through the air and on the ground. But even the best young quarterbacks thrive when they have versatile weapons around them. Daniels already has Terry McLaurin as his alpha receiver, Deebo as his big-time playmaker, Luke McCaffrey developing into a reliable target, and Zach Ertz as his veteran safety valve. Add an Eckler and rookie Jalen Lane, and suddenly you've got one of the most creative offensive arsenals in the league. Deebo's ability to take a handoff on one play and then burn a corner on a deep route the next gives Daniels exactly what every young QB craves: unpredictability. Defenses can't sit in one coverage, they can't key in on one look, because they know the Commanders can shift gears in an instant. Now, here's the important part. Don't expect Deebo to suddenly become Washington's full-time running back. We're not talking about him replacing Eckler or Krosky-Merritt. According to Graziano's report, it's more about sprinkling in those 5 to 7 carries a game, especially in key situations. Third and short, Deebo's physicality can move the chains. Red zone, you know he's dangerous inside the 10. 2-minute drill, his ability to line up in the backfield and then motion out creates chaos for defenders. It's about situation football. It's about leveraging Deebo's skills in a way that maximizes matchups and gives Jaden Daniels options. Now, let's be real here. Whenever you're talking about giving a wide receiver extra touches as a running back, there's a risk. Running backs take more hits, and Deebo has already dealt with his share of injuries over the years. That's why Washington has to be smart about his workload. But here's the flip side. When used correctly, those extra touches could mean the difference in close games. Last season, the Commanders won a lot of tight contests because Daniels made plays late. Imagine adding another layer, giving him a proven weapon who can take a jet sweep 25 yards or power through a linebacker for a first down. That's the type of wrinkle that can separate playoff contenders from true Super Bowl threats. Think about the bigger picture here. What Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are building in Washington is an offense that's not just talented, but versatile. Eckler can run or catch, McLaurin can win deeper across the middle, Samuel can line up anywhere, Lane brings speed and youth, McCaffrey is a precise route runner, Ertz provides veteran reliability. This is an offense designed to give Daniels every tool he needs to succeed, and the more wrinkles they add, the harder it becomes for defenses to prepare. What this means for 2025. The Commanders made it to the NFC Championship game last year, and they're not just satisfied with being a nice story. This team is gunning for the Super Bowl, and adding creative roles for players like Deebo Samuel is exactly how you take that next step. We've seen it before. The Chiefs unlocked Patrick Mahomes by giving him Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill in multiple roles. The 49ers turned Jimmy Garoppolo into a Super Bowl QB by giving him Deebo in a hybrid role. Now it's Washington's turn. And when you've got a young quarterback like Jaden Daniels who can already dissect defenses with poise, the best thing you can do is surround him with weapons that keep defenses scrambling. Deebo playing part-time running back is just another way to tilt the field in Washington's favor. So, Commanders fans, here's the bottom line. Kendrick Bourne could be the next weapon in Jaden Daniels' arsenal. He's visiting Washington, the connection with Peters is real, and the fit makes perfect sense. Will Peters close the deal, or will Bourne choose to go back to San Francisco where it all started? Either way, the fact that Washington is even in this position shows that the days of mediocrity are over. This team is chasing greatness, and Peters is making sure Daniels has everything he needs to lead the charge. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Peters should push hard to bring Kendrick Bourne to Washington?
Or are you comfortable with the receiver room as it stands right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading every single one. And don't forget, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video and hit subscribe to join the Commanders HQ family. We've got a big season ahead and you won't want to miss a single update. HTTC Commanders fans, let's keep building.